Honestly, it's incredibly humbling and awesome that we're #1. I remember a distinct moment when I was walking down the street with my wife when we first started working on Slay the Spire, and I was saying how great it would be if we sold enough copies that quitting my software job wasn't just the worst financial decision in the world. And now here we are, and it's just like mind-blowing. I've definitely thought about what makes Slay the Spire so compelling to people and how I can make it better into Slay the Spire 2. The thing that makes games, and in particular card games, so engaging is that they're a series of discrete, meaningful choices. Usually they're pretty comprehensible, like you're not overwhelmed with just this infinite array of things, and you can say, okay, if I do this, it's gonna have this impact, and if I do this, it's gonna have this impact. And distilling down on that strong, distinct choice that the player can look back on and be like, oh, I messed up here. That's like the key of deck builders and why they work so well.
Every choice you make is like hard. That's kind of like the essence, I think, of deck builders, is having every single choice be quite difficult. You choose a card, generally about 3 cards per turn. And so each of those choices, if they're not difficult, you're gonna just feel like you're just pushing buttons. If you're new to deck builders, we tend to put a lot of tutorials in that detect when you're confused. So we really try to gently guide people into playing the game. But you know, it's okay. I think if the game launches pretty popular, you should be able to have some friends that help you too.
One of the big differences between Slay the Spire 1 and 2 is that we have grown our team up and actually scale up so we can make kind of just a bigger game overall. The art is way more polished, there's more animations, more visual effects, there's more characters, more events, more relics, more cards. Returning characters have totally different card pools with new cards as well. In addition, we've tried to expand out some of the play space for what you can do with cards and other things in this game. So you can apply enchantments to your cards to modify them and make them more powerful. Enemies can also mess with your cards in ways they couldn't before. You also have new quest events where you can engage with the event system in a different way than you could in Slay the Spire 1. So lots of little things that I think add up to a much bigger whole. In addition to writing significantly more lore, with Slay the Spire 2, we have a whole new mechanic based around the lore, and I don't want to say how it works or anything, but we call it the timeline, and it's going to give the players just way more information about the game world, the actors in it, and just everything about it. Just everything is kind of bigger than it was in Slay the Spire 1.
I think in a given week, Anthony will give us maybe like 20 to 30 different changes, again, ranging from again, tweaking numbers or even just cutting cards altogether, adding new ones. I think over the course of the game, let's say every character has 60 cards. I think they've gone through at least 100, 200 versions, like actually design cards that have been cut or remade over the course of the last, say, 3-4 years.
The analogy that I always use for game design, and in particular card game design, is that it's kind of like you're a butcher. You generate like thousands, tens of thousands of different ideas, and then you look at them all and then you go, these are bad, and you just cut them all away, and this constant culling process. And then the ones you do keep, then you're usually changing all of those and refining them. Very rarely is there just this golden idea you keep from start to finish. Those are incredibly rare, and most of it is like this incredibly destructive process, and that's what I think makes game development so interesting and different than other creative mediums. The Necrobinder is the newest character we've revealed information on for Slay the Spire 2, and she's got several different archetypes she can go into. One is built around summoning. She has a minion she can summon called Osti, and she can have him attack and build up defenses on him so that he can take hits for her.
So Necrobinder is supposed to be a more complex character compared to the Ironclad and Silent. She has a pet. She has a pet hand named Osti. It's a big hand. Osti gets bigger and bigger the more HP it has, which is very funny, so I highly recommend making Osti huge.
Another is she can doom enemies, which has kind of a risk-reward nature to it because the enemies will still get to attack you on the turn that they're going to die. She has a souls-based mechanic where she's drawing tons and tons of cards, but it's kind of hard and slow to get going. And she's got also lots of other little archetypes that she can kind of blend into the other ones. And I think she's our most complicated character to play so far, and I think Slay the Spire 1 players will really enjoy her.
When we're describing sort of the aesthetic of Slay the Spire and Slay the Spire 2, it really is I don't know a better way to describe it except grim dark with whimsy in it. Like, you will kind of meet these really horrifying monsters or like, eldritch horrors in a way. And then you'll also do an event where there's like a goblin there wearing a suit that wants to spin a wheel with you. So I think it's a very unique balance of aesthetics in there that you're trying to, make a serious fantasy world, but have some fun with it and have some weirdness injected into it.
I'm not sure why, but I feel like our artists really enjoy making cute things or gross things. So there's a lot of oozy things and a lot of cute enemies, and that's okay, I don't think Slay the Spire has to be gothic, blood flying everywhere, ripping hearts out.
We are working on a sequel to a game that kind of has an established visual style that people, I think, really attach to. I think players attach to it because this is a game that some people, play for hundreds of hours and they remember it so fondly, and we want to be able to provide them like a recognizable space, but also upgrade it in a way that it does look new, it does look fresh, it does look like a sequel.
I definitely had some hesitation with working on a sequel because oftentimes they don't hit as hard, or you're kind of like, why was a sequel made? To me, actually, that made it kind of interesting because trying to figure out new twists that you can do while still keeping kind of the same core formula or keeping the fans happy was actually an interesting question that I was kind of interested to dive into. I'm happy we're launching into early access. For Slay the Spire 1, early access was a huge boon. Like, we constantly pushed out updates. Our players loved it. That kind of direct feedback allows us to improve the game at an incredible speed.
There are a lot of bosses already. There are a lot of enemies. There are a lot of events. Probably more than the first game, just on early access launch. Yeah, voted number 1 is an honor and a surprise. I feel like Slay the Spire is the chicken noodle soup of video games. Like, it's not exciting, but I hope people like our soup.
Slay the Spire 2 launches March 2026. Wishlisted now on Steam.